Well, hello and welcome back to my channel, Trade War. This is Bobbie. I'm Bobbie, and this is Bobbie Reads Tarot, and it's Monday. And today, you guys, I have for you another weekly tarot predictions video, just like I do every other Monday. Let's take a little peek and see what is going on. You guys know things have been a little bit crazy in the world. So I have a list of things I want to look at. I want to look at Stephen Miller's energy because I feel like he's kind of diabolical. I want to take a look at, obviously, Trump, his health, his cognition. I want to take a peek on the government shutdown. And I also want to look at Gaza and the ceasefire. So those are going to be the main topics. But I also want to leave some room to see what else Spirit would like for us to know for this week. So as always, my readings are for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, form your own opinions, and please be kind in the comment section down below. Okay, you guys, so first let's just start out with general energy. This is the Trish James Oracle, Governance Oracle, excuse me. Let's see what we've got. For money and power, that is going to be a big theme this week. For money and power, people doing things for money and for power. Beneficial impact, okay, we like that. Oh, that was too many. We have misleading headlines though, you guys, misleading headlines, okay. So we have for money and power, we have beneficial impact. What else do we have? We have global impact. Okay, remember we're looking at the energy for this week. We have external influence. What else would Spirit like us to know for the energy of this week? We have fall from grace. Will it be someone's fall from grace this week? Okay, the first thing I want to look at is Stephen Miller. I want to take a look and see what's going on with him because he has had some interviews, one recent one where he mentioned if he sends in the National Guard. So that was kind of a little Freudian slip right there, kind of letting, us see behind the curtain that maybe he's the one in charge. I think we all kind of know that, but I just want to take a look and see what his energy is. Is he going to be doing really well? Is he going to have a lot of power and influence, or is this not going to be a good week for him? So let's move these over here and see what we can find for Stephen Miller's energy for this coming week. Okay. We have the Nine of Swords reversed, starting off with his main energy. This is going to be, he's going through a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. There are things that are troubling him. So things are not going super great for Stephen Miller. This could be the fear that, it's like the Wizard of Oz, right? He's behind the curtain. And I think that Stephen Miller is behind the curtain and Trump is like what he's automating to, do his bidding. But I think he's afraid that people are going to start to find out that Trump is clearly not well and that there's someone else behind the scenes, behind the curtain, pulling the strings, okay? So the challenge that he's going to face this week is the Empress. We have been getting a lot of cards about the divine feminine coming in, and having an impact on what is happening. This is interesting. So I do believe that a woman is going to cause a problem for Stephen Miller. And I'm wondering if there was recently, I believe it was J.B. Pritzker, who kind of did a call to action for Trump's family and said, listen, he's not well. And there's people around him that are clearly taking advantage of him. And you need to step up and do something. I wonder if we're going to see Melania step to the forefront this week and do something. I don't know what that would be. And I think that she's, definitely someone who tends to kind of go along behind the scenes. And I think that she isn't someone who really likes the limelight. I think she prefers to be in the background, but I'm wondering if she's being called out and that's going to be a part of what happens. I firmly believe, and we're going to see looking at the cards here, but I believe I've said this, we're in his downfall. We're not even at the beginning of the downfall anymore. We're like mid downfall. But I'm really curious to see if there's going to be a call for the 25th Amendment, which is I didn't think that they were going to go there, but I don't know. We'll see. The energy that Stephen Miller is coming from now leading into this week is the Nine of Cups reversed. The Nine of Cups reversed is a card that's all about being very egotistical, very self-centered. This is that, malignant narcissist type energy. So obviously, yes, that is the energy he's coming from. The energy where he's going is the Six of Wands reverse. Now, this is really interesting, and I love these cards. If you guys like these cards, they are the United States of Tarot. I got them on Etsy. So they're on an Etsy storefront. You can either go into Etsy and search, or if you ever want to know any of the cards I'm using, if you go to my website, which is just bobbiereads.com, I have a page on there that has all of the different decks that I use, as well as the deck information. So if you're ever curious to know what decks I'm using, or you want to get a deck yourself, that is where you can find those decks, okay? So this is really interesting because this is George Washington. This is a Revolutionary War energy, him being successful. That is what the Six of Wands means when it's in its upright position. But when the Six of Wands is reversed, it can mean a postponement in plans or a pending advancement. Someone else coming your way. They're coming to attack. They're coming to cause trouble for you. And I do feel like that's where Stephen Miller is. I just am really feeling like perhaps his days are numbered, but I'm very curious to see who is going to step forward, because like I've said before, I don't think it's going to be JD Vance. I think JD will have a very short tenure as president, but then I feel like it's going to be someone else. And I'm very curious to know who's really behind the scenes, right? Who's really in charge, who's really in control. What Stephen Miller's goal is, his aim, what he's working towards, is the Queen of Pentacles. Very interesting. So there has been speculation that Stephen Miller might, whatever, like men, which is A-okay with us here on this channel. We don't judge. So I think it's very funny that he got a Queen card. Queen of Pentacles it is that Nancy Reagan energy. This is wanting to be in control, wanting to have balance, but not balance the way that we look at balance. Balance the way that Stephen Miller would look at balance. So the way he would look at balance would be getting rid of people that are not white, getting rid of all of the brown people in the country. This is the wealthy having all of the money. This is the poor not having anything. This is that idea of Reaganomics, the trickle-down effect, which we know doesn't work, but I do think that that's probably Stephen Miller's, way of thinking. So this is what he wants. He wants that Nancy Reagan energy. Okay, what he doesn't see coming, or what's kind of hanging out below the surface, the subconscious issue, is the Moon reverse. Now, this is very interesting too, because this is James Comey. So I'm wondering if something to do with the Comey indictment is going to not be good this week for Stephen Miller and what's going on. I wonder if this is also some of the downfall of this indictment that's just ridiculous. Now, I'm not a fan of Comey, okay? But I wonder if that is something else that's going to play a part in Stephen Miller not having the best week. The energy this week for him is the Two of Cups reversed. This is a falling out. This is a separation. So I am wondering if, as Trump begins to look more and more senile, if that's going to cause the separation for Miller, if he's going to kind of become more and more on the outside. The environment this week for Miller is the Eight of Wands. News coming in fast, information coming in. we're going to hear all kinds of stuff about Stephen Miller. Probably some true, probably some not true, but lots of information. Him getting a lot of information. It's just a big week when it comes to news. Stephen Miller's hopes or fears. Princess of Pentacles reversed. Very interesting that the aim is to become the Queen of Pentacles, and the fear is the Princess of Pentacles reversed. This is unwelcome news in regards to like money or property, control. He's afraid he is going to lose control in this administration. And final outcome for Stephen Miller this week. Oh, you guys, he got his own card. He has the Three of Swords. This is heartbreak, grief. This is a cup. This is a card of loss. This is not going to be a good week for Stephen Miller. This is also something else coming out about news about ICE, things that are happening, perhaps even news about children being separated from parents or children being abused in some way. We've already seen children being zip tied, which was just, I cannot as a mother, I cannot. Anyway, this looks like a terrible week for Stephen Miller. And I must say, I'm actually kind of happy. And I'm wondering if part of this fall from grace is part of his energy, or part of this beneficial impact is a beneficial impact for all of us of Stephen Miller kind of like, you know, making his way out. Now, I think that there's going to be someone more nefarious and more evil behind him, you know, waiting to step in. But at least I don't think we're going to see Stephen Miller around forever. Now I want to look at the energy around Trump's health and both his mental health and his physical health. So he posted a tweet Saturday night where he was going off about January 6th, the insurrectionists, and Biden's FBI. And I think he forgot that he was actually the president at that time. So there's some concern over his mental, you know, acuity right now. So let's see what's going on for Trump's energy for this week. See what we can find here. Trump's energy for this week. Okay. So we have the 10 of Cups reversed. Oh my gosh. This is a broken family. This is discord. This is shattered values. Again, terrible week this time for Trump. This could be issues with his family, issues with his boys getting in trouble for things. But again, this could be Melania stepping forward. We saw her in the Stephen Miller spread. And I feel like it's, you know, it's very uncharacteristic of her to step forward. We all know that. I don't think she wants anything to do with Trump. I think she just wants him to hurry up and, you know, for entertainment purposes, only die and go away. So it is not going to be a good week for Trump and his family. But I think also this isn't just Trump and his family. I think this is impacting other families as well. It's going to be the continued ICE raids and everything else that we're seeing, you know, troops moving into American cities and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's really more of the same, but I feel like we're getting to like a peak, right? I feel like it's all mounting. And at some point, and I know I keep saying it, and you guys keep leaving comments about, you know, okay, when is this going to happen, Bobbie? You keep saying it, and I don't believe it. And I'm just saying, hang on a little bit longer because we're getting there. The challenge that Trump's health is going to face this week is the Four of Swords reversed, you guys. He's going to have health issues this week. Four of Swords reversed is a forced time out, being sick. I mean, look at this photo. It's a soldier in a bed, recovering. He is not well. I think the trip to Walter Reed was actually a sign of something very significant. And I wonder if we are not going to see him around much this week because he's going to continue to be laid up. I'm wondering if it's going to be 25th Amendment time, you guys. Which I just didn't see that coming. Okay. The energy where Trump is coming from is the Nine of Cups reverse. It's just continued bad energy. This is that ego. This is being self-centered. So he's coming from the same energy that Stephen Miller's coming from. Just very dark, very negative, very ego-centered, malignant narcissist, can't see beyond themselves. I mean, when I hear Trump talk about groceries and saying it's an old-fashioned word and it's stuff in a bag from the store, I just have to wonder, what the hell? How do we have someone in office leading our country who is so disconnected from normal everyday life, the life that we all know? To us, groceries, it's not an old-fashioned word. It's a word we use every day. The energy of where Trump's health is going this week is the 5 of Swords reversed. More bad news. This is deception and misinformation. So they are going to provide, I'm wondering if they aren't going to give an update on Trump's health, but it's not going to be accurate. It's going to be deception. It's going to be misinformation. It's going to be, they're going to try to deflect from what's going on or how bad it really is. The aim, the goal, what they're trying to achieve this week is the 9 of Pentacles. And you guys, Jane Goodall passed away and her card showed up in the reading. She passed away last Monday, I believe it was, and her card showed up in that reading the day that she passed. I mean, just isn't spirit incredible, the way that it will pull those synchronicities together for us, and it'll give us information and we don't even realize it, and then after the fact we're like, oh my gosh. You know, any of my readings are like that. If you watch them and then you allow the week to pass and you go back and watch them again, there are so many things in there where it's like, oh my gosh, that was that. You know, I make so many connections. I love to go back and rewatch them. It's really funny too, because sometimes I'll completely miss things, or I'll read them, but the energy is just not quite right. And then when it actually happens, when it plays out, then it's like, oh my gosh, okay, that's what that was. Oh, I get it now. Okay. So I would encourage you guys definitely to go back and rewatch them. Or maybe not even watch them at the beginning of the week, but watch them at the end of the week, you know. But this 9 of Pentacles, this is all about, the goal is material success, material wealth, material abundance. That is all Trump wants. He wants to pad and line his pockets before he kicks the bucket, line the pockets of his family. Now, the underlying issue, or what he doesn't see coming this week, is the 7 of Cups reversed. This is chaos and confusion. So his mental cognition is going to continue to decline, and we're going to see more and more moments of confusion where he's just not making sense. I do think they're going to keep him away from the cameras this week. So I think that the biggest place where we're going to see this confusion play out is going to be on his Trump social posts. I really feel like that's where we're going to really see that. The energy this week for Trump's health is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You guys, this is karma coming back to bite you in the butt. The things that he has done is coming back this week. The things that he's done to his body, the things that he's done to other people, he is going to reap the karma this week. He's been reaping the karma. You know, we've been seeing it, but it's going to continue. Now, the environment for Trump's health is the Prince of Pentacles reversed. Prince of Pentacles reversed is a card that talks about things slowing down and financial mismanagement. So his environment is going to be one where we're going to continue to see issues with the economy this week. This can be issues with tariffs. We're probably going to hear more about the soybean farmers and bailouts that are going to need to be used to keep them, you know, out of financial trouble. It's not going to be good financially for the nation this week. Hopes or fears is the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups has been showing up a lot, and this is people behind the scenes celebrating something. And I just feel like this is dark. I think these are people that we don't maybe see, but you know, the theys. I do think that they're going to be popping up Now, there's a book that I've read and I'm rereading it, and I'm thinking about doing a series on it. It's not tarot, but the book is by Robert Bauval and Graham Hancock. And it's about really the theys, okay? Like, it goes back to ancient times, and it shows how power has been kept and used for thousands of years. And I've really been wanting to do a series on it. It's a bit deep, but I think it would help explain, you know, the stuff that I refer to. So if it's something that you would be interested in, let me know. Leave a comment down below and we'll see. It's a big one, you guys. It's pretty intense, but it's amazing. So if you're into history and things like the Illuminati, things like that, let me know, and, you know, we'll see if I end up doing that. But yeah, that is hopes or fears. Okay, so final outcome for Trump's health this week is the Two of Swords reversed. That looks like Pam Bondi. I don't know exactly who that's supposed to be, but she really looks like Pam Bondi. Two of Swords reversed is deception and being blind to manipulation. So again, it's being deceived about what's really going on with Trump and his health issues, but I think they're also deceiving Trump. I think he doesn't even fully understand. I don't think he's able to understand, but I think that they're definitely not letting him in on the gig on, you know, what's going on with him. Now, let's take a look at the government shutdown and see what's going on there. Does it look like, I honestly do not think it's going to end anytime soon, you guys, because it's Trump's way of keeping the Epstein files, you know, quiet from being released. So I think it's just, they're going to let it ride as long as they need to. But let's just take a peek here and see what is going on with the government. And then we will take a look at Gaza. If you are still here with me, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you like my weekly readings, let me know. Let me know what you think, huh? Okay, so let's see what's going on with the government this week. Government shutdown energy. What do we have? Okay. Six of Swords reversed. We are not, nothing is going to change. This is staying in the same spot. We're not moving to, you know, smoother waters. We're staying right where we are in the choppy water situation. The challenge is the Seven of Cups reversed. The challenge is the chaos, the confusion, the misdirection. This is Republicans wanting to distract. This is like throwing so much stuff at the wall, trying to see what's going to stick as far as confusing the American people. They're just throwing so much stuff out there that people don't even know what to focus on. The energy of where it's coming from is judgment. Very interesting. So people are watching, and your MAGA friends might not be saying much, but I can tell you this, they're noticing and they're not happy. I don't think they're going to flip, not yet, but they're watching this and they're like, this is not adding up. I recently saw a clip of Joe Rogan, and he was talking, he had a guest, and I think his guest was Duncan Trussell, someone who I really like. I was actually surprised to see Duncan Trussell on his show because I don't like Joe Rogan. So, and I don't watch a show, but I did see a clip where he was with Duncan Trussell and they were talking about the release of the Epstein files. And Rogan was reading this article, and you could see the wheels start to turn. And the article was talking about how the Democrats voted to release the Epstein files, but it was the Republicans who voted against it. And you see him realize it's the Republicans that don't want it out. And it's like, excuse my language, but yeah, motherfucker. Like, that's what we've been trying to tell you. I mean, seriously, are you kidding me? Like, you're just now getting it. But I guess we just need to be happy that they're starting to get it. But it is, I get it. I'm like, seriously, you guys, like, this is what we were trying to tell you, but whatever. The energy of where we're going when it comes to this shutdown is the Four of Pentacles. That's so funny that it's Mitch McConnell. This is being frugal with money, trying to hold on to things. This is trying to manage money. This is trying to find stability. I think that they're going to try to find some stability. Now, I'm wondering if this is a nod to all the people who are losing their jobs. If the message is going to be, this is what we need to do to be good stewards of the government's money. We need to fire all these people. But everyone's looking and they're like, you know what? We've had government shutdowns in the past and we've never fired people. People are starting to see it. They are, hang in there, friends. Like, it's slowly but surely people are starting to open their eyes. Now, the goal or the aim of the shutdown is the 10 of Pentacles. It's to hide the secrets and keep the rich rich, and it's to protect the rich. That's all that this is. It's to protect the secrets of the wealthy that are all tied up in the Epstein files and everything else. And there's just so much, you guys. There's so much that has to come out, because not only do we have all of this pedophilia that we're dealing with quite frankly, I think both sides of the aisle, but then we have all these issues of insider trading when it comes to the Democrats. So, I always try to warn you guys, like, both sides are not perfect, and we need to really keep it in perspective, because while there's a lot that needs to be fixed on the Republican side, there are things that also need to be fixed on the Democratic side for us, right? Now, the underlying issue is the King of Pentacles reversed. This is the underlying issue of the shutdown. It's the men with the money. We're protecting the men with the money. Boy, that's like just the perfect card. The energy is the Princess of Wands reversed. I feel this is so much Kamala, I told you so energy. 100%. So many people are like, man, I should have listened. I should have listened. The environment is the Ace of Wands reversed. This is not making deals. This is procrastination, things going slow. We are not going to see any movement this week when it comes to the government shutdown. Hopes or fears? Yeah. The fear is what the government is doing to government employees and people. Final outcome this week for the shutdown is the Two of Wands reversed. This is no plans for the future. They are not planning to do anything. They're not making any plans for the future. They don't care. It is to keep the status quo. Okay, you guys, I know that this reading is getting a little long, but I do want to take a look really quick at Gaza and see what's going on. And I just want to say, thoughts and prayers, whatever, it's not enough, but it doesn't even begin to be enough. But I want to just say that I send every single day, I send love and prayers and positive energy and healing and anything I can to the people of Gaza. To the mothers that are trying to keep their children alive, to the fathers who feel like they can't protect their families. You guys, this is happening in our world. This isn't a movie. In our world, people are being treated like animals. And it's just, I don't know. Now, if you guys saw last week, I did a reading about Gaza. If you haven't seen it, go back and look at it. It's really interesting because it actually was a pretty positive reading on the deal, which was so weird to me because my gut tells me there's something going on. There's something hidden. I can't see what it is, but I feel like there's something happening. So can we get a look at the energy around the Gaza ceasefire deal this week? What can we expect to see around the Gaza ceasefire deal? I just keep going back to these cards here just to see if there's any insights I can gain. Okay. Five of Cups reversed. So the Five of Cups reversed is a card that talks about heartbreak, grief, loss. However, it talks about being at a point where it's like a point of acceptance and starting to recover, starting to come back, things starting to not be as terrible. So this is giving me some hope for the Palestinians this week. The challenge you're going to face is the Strength card reversed. having the strength to do what they need to do. You guys, could you imagine going back to your town where you live and it being nothing but rubble? And being faced with the monumental task of rebuilding everything. Would you even know how to begin? I don't know that I would. The energy that they're coming from is the Prince of Pentacles reversed. This is a deal, you guys. This is a deal regarding property. Something's going to happen to their land. I do not feel good about this. There is something they're not going to get to keep Gaza. Something is going to happen. This is unwelcome news regarding property. The energy of where they're going is the Four of Pentacles. So this again is trying to build that foundation, that strong foundation. Hold on to your resources. This is about trying to manage your resources. They're trying to pull things back together. The hope, or excuse me, the destiny, the aim, the goal is the Prince of Cups reversed. This is an energy of wanting to see the possibilities of the future, but being really mired down in the realities of it. This is wanting to have that hope. I mean, this card, there's a phoenix rising. It's wanting to have that hope. But it's such a heavy task that they're facing. The underlying issue, or what they don't see coming, is the Nine of Swords reversed. You guys, this is that haunting energy. This is that being troubled, having anxiety. There's things going on. There's going to be just these people are so not out of the woods yet. The energy is the Death card. So this is the end of a cycle and the beginning of something new. My hope is that this is going to be something good for them and not another cycle of something bad. Okay? Let's hope that this actually is a fresh start. The environment is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is having its knowledge coming in. This is very high achieving energy. This is interesting. I wonder if there's going to be female leadership that comes in that tries to help get things in order, get things organized, figure out resources, just taking on a leadership role. Hopes or fears is the Moon reversed. This is being afraid of what they don't see, being afraid of the secrets, being afraid of all of the things that they've been promised in the past, and then it not coming to fruition. And final outcome is the Eight of Swords. This is imprisonment. This is feeling trapped. They're not going to have all of these options that it seems like they're going to have. The people of Gaza are going to be very, very limited in what they're able to do. So it is not going to be the easiest week, but it is, I don't think, going to be a terrible week this week in Gaza. I think that they're going to get a little bit of a respite. I do not think it's going to last, but I think it's like a distraction. I'm wondering if this wasn't his bid to try to get the Nobel Peace Prize, and then now that it's already been awarded, him saying, okay, well, now forget it. You know, Mr. I've solved 8 wars. All right, so you guys know that I love to end my readings with an oracle card. And today we're going to use the Work Your Light Oracle. And I like to do these because when we look at everything that's coming, it can be really, really heavy, right? And I always tell you guys, it's important to know what's going on in the world. It's important to keep yourself educated, but it's also important to keep a balance, right? We need more high vibe than low vibe. So whenever we do these readings, a lot of times it gets really low vibe. So we like to end on a positive note. Now also, however much time you spent watching this video, spend just as much time, if not more time, doing something that makes you laugh, something that raises your vibe, something that feels good, okay? Now that we know all this heavy stuff, what does Spirit want us to know? What does Spirit want us to do with this information? What is the message for this week? We have leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Okay, so this card says, you go first, the universe will catch you. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap. To throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you're being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the move. Or maybe, perhaps you're waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear, and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. Wow, this is an amazing card, you guys. So I have a little saying, and I'm gonna share it with you guys, and you can steal it, use it, whatever you want, okay? So I have been known in my life to leap. I have taken some really big leaps now. I like the fear of the leap, but I also get really scared, right? Of like, okay, now I've leaped. Now what do I do? All right, so my leaps have been big ones. Like I've moved from Washington to Florida. I moved from Florida back to Washington by myself. I moved down to Arizona. And then you guys know I bought a house like 4 hours away from where I was living in Arizona. So I just like moved to a town where I don't know anybody, like just bought a house, you know. So I like to leap, but I also feel the same fear that you guys feel as well. I know some people think I'm like super brave, and no, I'm really not. I'm just super courageous. But when I'm in the middle of the leap, right, and I get really scared, I repeat this to myself over and over again. When I moved from Washington to Arizona, I actually repeated this in the car driving over and over and over again. And the mantra is this: I have never failed so badly that I was not able to recover. Now I want you to think about that. I have never failed so badly that I was not able to recover in my life. Now, where are you at in your life? Have you experienced failures? But have you always recovered? And that's the thing that we need to think about, okay? Because we can get really scared and we can let fear hold us back. But when you really think about it, you've never failed so badly that you weren't able to recover. And that is what I like to hold on to when I'm doing something really crazy, where I'm like, oh no, here we go. And so I want to share that with you. So if there's things that you really, really want to do, but you're not doing them out of fear, this is your sign from the universe. Leap. Come on, leap with me, you guys. It is amazing. I hear all the time, I do a lot of readings, and I do a lot of readings for people who want these very big things, but then they tell me all the things that they're afraid of and the reasons that they can't, take the leap, go for the goal, achieve the thing they want. And I'm here to tell you that nothing is going to take those obstacles out of your way except for you. And if you're waiting for someone else or the universe to come along and clear the path for you, you're going to be waiting forever. You have to just leap. You will be so glad you did. Okay, you guys, I've been talking your ears off forever this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and end this reading here. If you're still with me and you liked this final message, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up on your way out. And also, if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's a free way to help out my channel, and it helps out more than you guys could ever know. I'm really, really hopeful that I can hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think I can do it. I really think I can do it. And if you would like to take your support of my channel one step further, you can become a member. The information to become a member is in the description box down below. Just click under the video where it says more, click more, it will expand it. And there's all kind of information in there. There's the link to my website in case you want to look at my cards, or if you want to book your own personal tarot reading with me, you can do all of that there. And also in that description box down below is the link to the the link to become a member, and that is 99 cents a month. And members get access to member exclusive content. So if you've ever wanted to check that out, that information is in that description box down below. Okay, you guys, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me while I flip cards, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.